Hi guys, I hope you're okay and having a good day. I saw one of the YouTubers that I watch doing this video and I thought that I'd do it. Her channel is So Cassie. I'll try and remember to put a link into it in the description box below. She won't know me, so there's no point me telling you that I sent you. Yeah, that's right. um, yeah, I'll be looking down a lot because the questions, if you can call them that, are on my phone. So yeah, here goes. My first time on a plane ride, we were going to Italy as a family, like me, my dad, my mum, my brother and my sister, and I think it was about 25, maybe 24, 25, something like that. Um, yeah, the first time, like the actual first time going out to Italy, I was too terrified um, to sit in the window seat. Like all the rest of my family had been in a plane before, and so they offered to let me sit in the window seat, and I was too frightened. But on the way back, on the plane ride back to the UK, I sat in the window seat, and it was amazing. It was just amazing. Just wow, it was just amazing. Um, so first time getting a cell phone was my ex-boyfriend, who was also my first official boyfriend, bought me a cell phone, a mobile phone we call them in the UK, and it was a Nokia. I'm not sure which model, but it was a Nokia. It would have been around 1999, 2000, and it was a Nokia brick. It was definitely a brick phone. My first smartphone was probably about 4 years ago, and it was a Samsung Galaxy something or other. Um, and I'm on my third smartphone now, and still with Samsung Galaxy. Making a friend in college, I just kind of had. We did have friends. We kind of sat there. I was a bit older than the others because I'd had to do some resitting some exams. Um, and I can't even remember their names. One was Sarah, and I can't remember the guy's name. And then there was a guy named Scott who wasn't in my group. And yeah, I think I just met them in the cafe or something, and I kind of made friends with them. Getting a pet. My first pet was a rabbit. We already had a dog, but that was kind of like the family pet. A golden retriever called Nicky, and he was awesome. But my first pet was a rabbit, and it was a brown rabbit, so it looked like the wild rabbits, which I really liked, and I called it Velvet because it felt like velvet. And I think I was about 7 when we got that rabbit. Unfortunately, when I was 9, we moved to Birmingham, UK, from the Wirral to Birmingham, and unfortunately, I had to give my rabbit to a friend because my mum was worried about foxes killing it. My first tattoo, there's actually a video of my first tattoo called Tattoo Reveal, but I've got a tattoo on my arm which is of 3 Bible verses, and it's John 3:16, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. No, yeah? Oh, I forget which one's which at the moment. My brain's not working. John 3:16, Romans 3:23, and John 15:13. Challenge you to look them up in your Bible. My first Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter posts. I don't have an Instagram account, although having said that, I'm getting a digital camera again later in the year. Sadly, I lost my previous digital camera, but I'm getting a digital camera again later in the year, and maybe I might do Instagram with that. My first Facebook post, I can't remember, I really can't. My first Twitter post, I can't remember what it was, but I remember typing, and it was like really early in Twitter, and then I typed what I was doing or something, And then it said, what are you doing now? And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And so now, really, I only use Twitter like if I'm responding to a TV program, because some TV programs in the UK allow you to ask questions via Twitter. My first time breaking a bone, this is kind of embarrassing. It wasn't my own bone that I broke. I've never broken my own bones. I have, however, accidentally broken a bone of my brother. Excuse me. We were at a playground and a park, and there was like this climbing frame, and there was like a pole that went down. It kind of like the climbing frame stopped dead, and there's this pole that you kind of shimmy down. My brother wanted to jump, and he was too scared so I offered to push him, and I did, and he broke his wrist, and my dad had to take him to hospital. And so, yeah, how I didn't get into trouble for that, I don't know, but yeah, I think the fact that he ended up with his arm in plaster kind of made me realise that that was not a good idea. First time going on a date. I don't remember. I honestly do not remember. I think it was probably when I had my first official boyfriend, and we went for a meal at an Indian restaurant, because we lived in Birmingham, UK at the time, and Indian restaurants are like everywhere in Birmingham, and they're the kind of meals you go out for in Birmingham most of the time. And we went to an Indian restaurant. And later that evening, he asked me to be his girlfriend. Oh. First time kissing somebody was that same. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that same guy. I had a kind of teenage boyfriend. He wasn't a serious boyfriend. And I kissed him in the porch of his house, saying goodbye to him one day. And we broke up not long after that, sadly. He was really sweet. Like we still class each other as friends now. If we see each other, we give each other a hug. First time getting a piercing, I was 16, and I went to a pharmacy with my friend, a pharmacy that did piercing, and had my ears pierced. I later went on to have my nose pierced, and I took the same friend with me for that as well, but that was somewhere else. First time at a movie theatre, I really can't remember. I think I would have been at least 9 years old. I don't know if it was in Birmingham or up here on the Wirral that I went. I know I went to see Jumanji with a friend up here on the Wirral, but I don't know. That's the only one, that's the earliest one that I can remember. But whether that's the first time or not is another thing altogether. The first time attending a wedding, I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. I think that the first wedding I remember going to is my mum's cousin's wedding. And I don't know, I must have been about 10 or 11, and I was chasing the bridesmaid. She's like really little, and she kept running off, and they wanted her in a photo. So I was chasing her to catch her and bring her back for the photo. First time getting in trouble at school. I don't like this story because I shouldn't have got into trouble in a way. Not the way I did get into trouble. A whole bunch of us went to the toilets in school, and there was a girl that I was terrified of. I don't know why I was terrified of her. I was just terrified of her. And she told me to turn the taps on and block them, block the sink. And so I did. And I did deserve getting told off for doing that. But what I was really upset about was the teacher had a go at me because I said to her, I tried to tell her that I was frightened of this person, and I didn't know how to say it. And she was like, took the mickey out of me and had the whole class laugh at me. And yeah, horrible, horrible experience. First time reading a book, I don't really remember. The first time I read a book, like completely by my own choosing, was my mum had sent me to my room. I don't even know what for, but my mum had sent me to my room, and I'd decided, because she'd sent me to my room for 60 minutes and I didn't understand how long that was. And so I just got my book out and started reading it. And it was Roald Dahl's of the Twits. um, and yeah, so that was the first time I actually started reading of my own accord. Um, the first time I read a book would have been like reading at school. So like doing reading books and stuff. First teacher, oh, she was lovely. She was so nice. Her name was Mrs. Lonergan. She had long black hair, and she was just, oh my word, she was just so nice. Like, you could go to her for anything. She was just, and she was always making sure you were okay, and she made a real effort to divide her time between the class. And oh, she was just the nicest teacher. That was my first teacher. My first best friend, I had two, pretty much at the same time. Um, and I don't want to name them for privacy reasons because I know one of them wouldn't want me to, and I'm not sure about the other one. But when I was 21, I broke up with my first serious boyfriend, and they became my best friends. And first time going to the hospital, I can't remember, I really can't. Um, It may have been because I was having trouble swallowing. It may have been because I don't know if you can see this finger, but it's kind of bent and it kind of dislocated. And I tried to get the doctors to take it seriously, they wouldn't. But you can blatantly see that it's dislocated even now, and because they wouldn't do anything about it, it's kind of, there's no way of fixing it now. Absolutely none. So yeah, that's it. Those are my firsts for the first tag. And I'm not going to tag anyone, but if you'd like to do it, it'd be lovely to see what you have to say too.